Good noon. It is Saturday, September 7th. Got up this morning and went out garage sailing with Mom. I actually got a couple of pictures, like Egyptian style things that were free. That's the reason I got them. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll actually keep them framed, but even if not, they're like a cool paper, and I'm like, I might be able to use those in some sort of game at some point. So they're free. I'll take them. Yeah, there was a big thing where some guy was just giving away like all sorts of pictures and frames and such, just like, it's junk, take it, get it away. So I was like, yeah, I'll take these ones. Otherwise, we're heading up to Gingham's, gonna have some lunch with family. And I really look forward to the fact that their new location is gonna have like their sign above the door like a normal place. This makes it easier for me at, you know, vlogging. Well, you're just not very bright, so it's fine.
He managed to get you a smile on his camera. I'm telling you that.
Well, I got a salad to start with because I'm grouchy.
Yes.
And I figure having something to eat from the start might help. Thanks. You know,
that makes them less grouchy. That actually really helps. Telling someone they're grouchy makes them just like way.
Really? I don't usually have that response. Do you? I'll remember. Always to let you know when you're grouchy. You just have...
Take the grouchy.
Thank you.
In Jesus' name.
Not the grouchy person, the grouch in the person.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Take the grouch away.
I just was clarifying, just to make sure.
If I just disappear, you know why. And I got the jalapeno burger, and Ethan's doing a cod sandwich. How's cod?
That's good.
He's just like, oh, I've never had this. Let's try this new thing.
Why not?
And I had a fun time with family. Had some good food. No longer super hungry. It's all good. And it's like 1:45, and I'm like, man, I felt like I got so much accomplished last weekend when I didn't go spend time with Mom. But it's like, whatever. Takes so much time on the Saturdays when I do, but it's good. Good to see family. I've not really gotten a lot done today. It's getting into the evening. But at least to some extent what I've been starting to work on is next year's logo. And now, with the way I do my logos, and this is for Jadekind Gaming, of course, as it's the channel where I have logos. I do a new logo every year. This started because when I first did the channel, I came up and I just had a little graphic, and literally that was it. Like, it was just literally a still image. And after doing the channel for a few months, I decided I wanted to do a logo, and I decided the new year was a good time, and ever since, new logo each year. Okay. And the first one was a still graphic, and the next one was this weird, not really 3D, but kind of, and trying to make it look like a cool environment. Basically followed a tutorial off of Video Copilot. Most of the stuff I've done, you know, all my visual graphic stuff I know, I've pretty much learned from there. So yeah, so those two I kind of paired together, and then the next year I'd gotten Element 3D, and I did this cool 3D, you fly by and zoom out of this 3D model of the logo. So far, all using the same font. And so then the next year I was like, well, the first 2 years kind of were similar, and then I really changed it this last one. Let's do something similar again, and I changed the beveling a little bit. And I changed the way it flew. Instead of flying by it, it flew out from between some letters. Pretty similar. And then the next year, still using the same font, I changed it completely again. Stepped away from Element 3D. I went into this, following this tutorial, basically using weird effects. Sort of like coming out of the smoke. And then the following year, I made it sort of almost like an electric effect using the same techniques. So it was the first 2 years, the next 2 years, the next two, each of them sort of little groupings. Every year I make a new one, and every 2 years I kind of do something to change, it changes a little more, I guess. And And so then this past year, when I did it, I've had it's 2D. It's for the first time ever a different font. And one thing that I very much think is this font, I may or may not, I don't know if I'm going to keep the same font this year, but it's the first time ever a different font. And next, and the following year, 2021, I'm thinking I might go back to the previous font, or at least something that is more traditional. This is definitely a more modern thing, and it's synthetic elements, and there's always that balance of, do I want to go like synthetic, or do I want to go like traditional kind of fantasy sounding? And either one works, and I can do either. But I'm definitely like, okay, after this pair, I want to go back to that. So I'm just playing around all day with what I could do, and I still don't know what I want to do. I could do something very similar, new sound effects. I have another font that I could use, slightly change it up, changing the audio, and that's probably maybe what I should do. But then I'm playing around with things, and I'm like, well, what if I take the font that I've been using this year, and I throw it into Element 3D, so I have an Element 3D logo of the same font, and that's using the same, the 2015 Jadekind Gaming beveling, as opposed to, like, if I grab the 2016 beveling, you see it adds the little extra golden line. I got weirder ones, like some of the ones from Generic Nerdy Stuff, with the gold in the front, or blue. But it's all like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I don't know. But I figured I should stop by and say something, because that's what I've been working on for the last 5.5 hours. It's just trying to figure out what do I want to do, and I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. But I'm just playing around with it. So, not much longer. I went back and actually just grabbed this year's file, and I just changed the font. I had one of the other fonts I was thinking, and that's just the font change. Now I'm probably going to want to change the audio too, which means having to change all the animation. But that's where I'm at right now. So I think I'm going back to... And the reason behind it, because I was thinking about it, it's like, I don't... The font from the first 6 years of the channel, I associate with the channel. This year is having fun. I don't want this year's font to be necessarily like a long-term channel association font. So if I use it 2 years in a row, it feels like it's becoming that. If I 2 years in a row just use weird fonts, well then that's one of the things that's uniting these years as a group, is that they're using weird fonts. And specifically they're fonts that give me personally a little bit of that like sort of older, maybe 90s-ish feel. It's kind of what I was originally going for with it. I don't know. I've been working on it way too long. I'm like, I want to come up with it. I'm starting to think, I don't know, starting to think I might choose to I might choose to try and, for the first like month or maybe 2 months of next year, double the videos. I am set moving forward. There's a good chance that by the time next year starts, I have a full year worth of the current campaign as its videos. That would not surprise me, and that's not what I want. And then I'll be starting a campaign, finishing it, starting another campaign, getting well into it before this campaign is even done with uploading. my mindset is after the current campaign I run, I do want the next campaign is probably going to be relatively short, a few months maybe, and my plan with that is probably to skip it, like to record it and put it on a hard drive and just sort of save it for. Let's say I find someone, get married, and move halfway across the country and don't have a gaming group regularly to play with. It'll be content to continue from there. It'll be an old campaign that I can pull back and upload later. And there was something like that. Something just to put in the archives. But I don't want to be well into the campaign after that and still not uploading it. I don't want to be that far distant from what's going on. So I'm thinking I might try and, for the first month or two, just because I don't want to just upload more frequent session videos, because that'll make the channel look bad, because those don't get as many views and such. I have people that follow, enjoy those, but more people watch my unboxings and reviews. So I'd want to double both. If I'm gonna try and do that, I have to have the session videos for that time edited before the year even begins. And then I'm going to have to make sure that I can, with reasonable financial stability, afford things to unbox and review. Which, with the way things are going right now, I could. It's been a long time since my work's been, letting people go home early. And I'm sure that's part of it. And if that changes, I don't know how good my finances are going to stay. But I've managed to get new skills at work that have, given a little bitty raise there, a little bitty raise here, all that. So I don't know. Maybe that is helping as well. Because I've not had as much financial stress here in the last few months. I've gotten fun things, if you've noticed. And so yeah, I'm I don't know, just trying to figure out what to do. But definitely having the graphics for next year soon will help. All right. So, I'd found some audio that I was considering, and I threw the track on, and I moved the track back and forth a little bit until it lined up with one of the starts. And when I did that, most of it lined up. I'm like, praise Jesus. Basically, what I did is I just adjusted the last couple of transitions so that, because it's basically two different sections of a same little synthetic bit. And so I transitioned, so first one was like changing around, and the second one, it would just, once that goes, it goes into the old school green with the goldish colored sort of outline, and then it just goes through that, and as the synthetic noise starts to fade out, so does the text. Technically, I saved about half a second on the length as well. Cutting out half a second in the beginning is actually good. I remember I used to have one that was like 10 or 15 seconds long. And over time, I figured out that is ridiculous. Right now, this is just over 6.5 seconds, maybe closer to 6 seconds. And I try and get it around that, 5 to 8 second mark is plenty. It's like I want people to be able to read Jadekind Gaming, but I don't want to waste any more of their time. Let's get on to the video. And it's basically just things I've noticed from watching other people's videos. Longer logos are annoying. I want something that's quick and to the point. So yeah. Is it done? Almost. And then of course I have the end tag to make as well, but still. Like, fun. But yeah, so just kind of playing with that. Not really sure. But yeah, so making progress, and I was really grateful for how simple that came out. We'll see if the end tag maybe it will be more challenging, but the end tags only has less changes anyways, so shouldn't be too bad. About another hour. I've basically done it. Yeah, I think basically I've gotten them done. They're in, they're made. Wonderful. Like, ooh, what now? But yeah, so I made the logos. I've got logos. I'm hungry and it's quite late, but hey, I got logos. Huh. Where did that third one come from? Moving on with the idea of possibly doing double videos for the first couple of months of next year. If I do that, I've been thinking I'd need to explain it. And I haven't had a generic nerdy stuff video since, I believe, 2017. So it'll have been a bit. I went lazy on it. I literally just took that year. Like, it's going to be a little different than the other intros. I literally took that year's intro and just changed the fonts to this year's and next year's for each word, for each part of the words. So it was a quick one, but literally, if I use it, I will use it once. So, the fact I changed it at all is something, eh? I don't know. I may not use it at all. But I was like, you know what? I might do a channel update, and it might be fun just to... Because basically, since I've had the vlog, I generally don't do that. But I mean, it would be nice to, not only let them know what's going on, but also just, yet again, to step out there and be like, and I got this vlog you can check out, and all that kind of stuff. Now, getting ready to make some dinner. I think I'm going to make something that I've kind of been gathering stuff for a while. I got these biscuits. And then, I got these frozen sausage patties. I got this egg ring. I have to see if maybe I make like a breakfast sandwich, I guess. I feel like it was supposed to pop and scare me. There it is! Alright, so I got those going. And this going in here. Trying to get everything at once. Well, sort of. Eggs will come after these, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making this up as I go. Alright, and... Okay, and so I'm trying my egg molds 3 different ways. The first egg I molded, and then afterwards I flipped it once I started this one. This one I'm not flipping, and this one is scrambled eggs from the start. So I'm going to try some different options with that. Yeah, just making this up as I go. Okay, and of course there's way more biscuits than I need for how much I'm making, but I'll figure out what to do with the extra biscuits later. I did figure out scrambled doesn't work great, but I tried to solve it. Basically, when you take the mold off, everything that wasn't on the bottom just spills out. There was no way to flip it. There was no internal structure. Well, we'll see what we can do. What we can make work. Cool. Let's get it started. All right. So basically, I have sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits. 3 different ways. Nice flaky biscuits, sausage patties. we'll go ahead and give it a shot. I mean, that one, the egg egg yolk is definitely overdone, but it's still very delicious. It's actually really cool. Ultimately, the big downside is, of course, the thing of biscuits makes 8 biscuits, and I'm not going to eat 8 of these. I was like 3. At first I was thinking maybe 4 until I started seeing how much the egg was, and I'm like... So other than the fact that the biscuits are way overmade compared to everything else, which I don't know. I'll figure out if I can save the biscuits or whatever. But yeah, made myself some dinner, and that was really good. I got remaining biscuits in a Ziploc bag. Maybe they'll last and still be decent tomorrow or something. I tried to clean up a little bit, but I'm just tired. So that's probably the biggest negative, is how much of a mess that made. But it turned out good. Really, the eggs, any of the 3 different ways, were all good. Scrambled was definitely the hardest because they didn't want to work, so that's probably the way I wouldn't do it. But no, it was good. And then, you know, I got the graphics for next year all ready. And I say, you know, they're all ready. To be fair, I'm probably not going to do anything with them for a little bit. I will probably wait a week or 2, look at them, and make sure I'm still happy with them. Or at least a few days. Just enough to give myself some space and make sure that I don't see anything I was like, oh, I need to change that before I commit to it for, you know, a whole year. So I'll do that, but more or less, you know, I've rarely changed them at that point. So most likely done. Otherwise, yeah, it's late. I'm very tired. I'm going to bed. Thank you for joining me, and join me as my journey continues.